16, 1 to 13. So Jesus was resurrected and he appeared. Mark says that he first appeared to Mary Magdalene, and we find out more that she had 7 demons in her, so he casted out 7 demons. So, and when I read that, I remember of how Jesus said that to whoever is more forgiven loves more. So I think that's why Mary Magdalene really was really loving to Jesus, because he healed her from many things and she was saved from many things. So that's what happened. And then after that, so the woman went to anoint him, and this is the first day of the week, so that would be a Sunday for the Jews. And I actually recently watched a person who is knowledgeable about Jewish custom. He said even today, if you go over to Israel, they work on Sunday, and even like Christian families, Christian churches over there, they worship on Sabbath, because Sunday people have to go to work. It's the first day of the week, and so this is after the Sabbath was over. And then so they saw an angel. Mark described him as a young man wearing a white robe. They were amazed, and they actually fled from the tomb, for trembling and astonishment has gripped them. And they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. But then Mary was told to tell Peter and the disciples. She reported it while they were in mourning and weeping. So their grief has been is still there with them on this day, as it's understandable. And these details are just so corroborative. And then when they heard that he was alive, they refused to believe. And a lot of Bible scholars actually said, yeah, if the Bible was made up, the writers would not have chosen women to be the ones delivering it. They would use a man to increase the credibility. But the Bible is written as a eyewitness account, so they reported it as it happened. And so just so happened God chose the woman to be the first one who received the good news. And then Mark also talked about Jesus appearing in a different form. So now we kind of understand why in another gospel this one was even expanded on. He appeared to 2 disciples, and while they were walking, and they couldn't recognize him at first, and they were talking about they were asking him didn't he know about Jesus and all that happened. And then he expanded the Bible to them, scripture concerning about himself. And towards the end, then their eyes were open and they recognized that it was Jesus. So it's interesting that we can get a different perspective on this, that in his resurrected form, it sounds like he can appear, he can change his form somehow, and then people won't recognize his new form unless he allowed them to, he opened their eyes to. So that is very interesting. And these 2, now we know that these 2 then reported it to the rest too, but they did not believe them either. So it's just too wild for them to believe. And we know that this is actually healthy skepticism, and Jesus doesn't want us to believe blindly. He will give us evidence for our faith. And the Christian faith, especially the resurrection, it's it is if there's no evidence for it, if it didn't happen, then our faith would be in vain. But it did happen, and you can research the evidence for it yourself. It's circumstantial evidence and eyewitness, so you have to rely on those kind of things to base your faith off of, and ground it in truth.